Hey guys, so my daily's been down for about a week and a half now. Alternator went out on it, did some weird crap, or at least I think that the alternator went out. The charging system started to fail, so I replaced a circuit breaker, which I saw on a forum that said it should fix the problem, and it didn't. So I'm changing the alternator. Everywhere it says that it's 600 bucks. I found it off of Rock Auto for about $219 plus a cord charge, about $75. So I'm going to change that out. So far I went ahead and took out the alternator fan and all the stuff that is above that, which was really quick. You don't have to disconnect any radiator hoses or bleed any systems or anything like that to take out the alternator on this car, which is pretty legit. So about 10 minutes into it and I'll have the alternator out in probably just a few more minutes. So I'm just going to not really do a step-by-step on this one. I'm just going to kind of show you some periodic pictures in between time. Well, I've got the old alternator out. The new one's sitting down in there. I had a little bit of trouble getting it out for a second because the cable that comes off of it that feeds back to the battery started to ground itself out and shoot sparks. So I quickly went back and disconnected the battery so that wouldn't happen. I should have probably done that from the beginning. So I've got the old alternator out, the pulley off of it, the new idler pulley back on, and the new alternator down into position, getting ready to move it back into place. Can't really tell just by looking at it if the alternator was the problem, but I can take it and get it checked and see if it works like it's supposed to. Okay guys, so I just wrestled with that alternator for an hour. Found out that there is a like a nut that's built into the back of the alternator for the bottom bolt that moves, and it's like pressed in, so I had to unpress it by about 1/4 of an inch just to get the bottom to slide up into place right. Once I got that to go up in there, then it just kind of fell into place. So yeah, I fought with that for a long time. I was wondering why in the world it wouldn't go into place. There's a lot of stuff like in there. The AC the compressor for the AC is right underneath it, and one of the big lines coming off the back like bumps right into the alternator, so it's all up in the way. So it just took forever. Lots of sharp objects, having to lay all over it. The car's really low, so it sucks. Even me being short, it's really hard to work on like that. So finally got that in, now just a few minutes, and I should have the rest of the car put back together. So hopefully I'll be able to start this thing and drive it around in a few minutes. So I probably should have read this message before I took the alternator out of the box. It definitely tells me that I should have disconnected the battery, so I wouldn't have had that problem. But also it says it needs to be fully charged, so I'm charging the battery back up. It should have been fully charged because I charged it already like a week ago, just so the battery wouldn't die while it was sitting. So I'm just charging it back up a little bit so I can start the car up and drive it around. Well, I just took it for a drive after I let it charge for a little bit. All the lights on the dash are off now. It seems to be charging at a little bit higher amount than it was before, so I'm hoping that that's what fixes the problem. I'm going to drive it to work tomorrow, see if I get stranded. Hopefully I don't, and we'll go from there. But as of now, it looks like everything's fixed on it. So we just keep our fingers crossed and hope that it works.